Hi, everybody. Welcome to March 1st, Healthy Tips for Tails. And it's finally sunny out here. It's been stormy and it's still pretty cool. Anyway, today's episode is about the liver. And it's the liver and its association with giving direction, with sleep, helping sleep, and also with intergenerational trauma. What I'd like to do is I'd like to start with reading something from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, and it's called The One Direction. Live deep enough, and there's only one direction. No matter whom the apprentice talked to, if she listened close enough and long enough, the words all went back to the same source, as if there were only one large thing speaking. No matter how many eyes she looked deeply into, they all eventually revealed the same shimmer, as if there were only one large thing seeing. No matter how many pains she soothed, the cries all sounded from the same human hurt, as if there were only one large thing feeling. When she brought all this to her master walked her in silence through the woods to a clearing where they sat on a fallen tree. The master placed a stone in her one hand and a small flower in her other hand, and said, "Feel the warmth from both stone and flower. See how both are covered differently with the same light. Now trace the light of each back to the sun." We are all just small stones and little flowers, searching for our sun. What you have seen under words, behind many eyes, and beneath all cries is the one direction. So that one direction for humans and for animals, and probably for plants and rocks, but I don't know them so well, is the liver. And the liver in our Chinese medicine organ system has to do with giving direction. It enables you to be kind, compassionate, and benevolent. When it's out of order, you get angry and frustrated, sometimes depressed. And the liver rises up in the spring. It's related to the wood. Its mother that nourishes it is the kidney. It's the water of the kidney that nourishes the liver. The liver is also part of our imagination, and it's considered our soul's path, the Hua. Oh, that was interesting. The computer just stopped. Hopefully it's back again. And the kidney relates to the cortisol in our body with the fight and flight. And the liver can act it out because of the combination and the nurturing between the kidney and the liver. Sleep in Chinese medicine, in order to go to sleep, you need the yin of the kidney and the heart, calming of the heart shen, the heart yin, heart blood. In between the kidney and the heart is the liver. So to fall asleep, it's a function of the heart kidney. To stay asleep, it's a function of the liver. The liver gives us it stores the blood and helps to smoothly circulate it. And that storing of blood is a nurturing, solid area that will bring in the blood to your body, that will nourish as it goes to the heart and things circulate around. The liver blood has to be moored at night at a dock, and the dock is the liver. And if there's not enough blood to nourish that liver, both our soul, our imagination, and our sleep pattern starts to waver. So when you cannot fall asleep, it's regulated again by the heart and the kidney. But if you cannot stay asleep, it's also regulated by the liver. So I wanted to talk about the direction of the liver. And before I took this short break, which I'm still on right now, the calls I were getting were about animals who are anxious, animals who are having digestive issues, and about their people and animals who are having issues sleeping. And it was all directed toward the blood, the flowing of blood, and calmness versus anxiety and stress. The environment right now with the earthquakes, with the winds, with the storms, this is anxiety making. This is stress in our universe, in our planet. And our animals and us are reflecting it. So before I took this break, I got a call from a very dear couple, a client who had adopted a young dog from Mexico. The way the story went is that the mother of the dog was pregnant and was brought across the border to have her litter. And then her litter was adopted out. My clients are very kind, benevolent, very experienced dog people. And this dog is sweet. It's a she. Dog is sweet, was spayed before they actually got her, so very young, so the hormones are already out of whack. But the dog is sweet and shy. It took them a while to have the dog go outside with them, but they were able to do that. And there's a situation that developed at night where no matter how calm the dog was during the day, when the couple went to sleep, the partner went in first and she was going to sleep. The dog went in and would not allow the male to come in. She was pacing and barking and running and unsettled. And the guy had to stay outside of the bedroom until the dog fell asleep. So they called me, and they had gone to their regular Western doctor who, had possibly prescribed heavy duty tranquilizers. And these people didn't want to do that. They wanted to see if something natural were helpful. The dog, when I went to see her, looked perfectly healthy. Her coat is beautiful. Her diet is good. Her thirst is normal. And she was super friendly. Let me touch her, came into my space. I was able to go into her space as long as I went softly and with respect. And when I started doing an examination with her, she started to get a little bit upset, and we all had to start breathing. And what I found was the acupressure that worked best for her was over the diaphragm area. So the diaphragm is between the chest cavity, and the belly cavity. So between here and here. Our diaphragm will come up when we breathe. As we inspire, the diaphragm drops. As we exhale, it rises up. On the animals, when they stand like this, what you're looking at is behind the shoulder blades, around T7, T8, which to you would be just behind the shoulder blades. And if you lay your hand across that along the spine, you will get the diaphragm. You'll also get the association or the helpful point for the liver and gallbladder and possibly the spleen, depending on how large your hand is, but especially the diaphragm. And the diaphragm was able to make her calm down and breathe. We used a coupled point, and the coupled point was pericardium 6. Pericardium 6, as we've talked about before, is around the accessory carpal pad on the wrist, between the two big tendons that come up on this side or the inside of the arm. And you can just massage around that. Now, pericardium 6 goes directly to the chest to help calm. It is also a coupled point in an extraordinary meridian system, which connects pre-heaven to post-heaven chi. The pre-heaven chi, in quotes, is our heredity, and that's regulated and stored in the kidney. Our post-heaven chi has to do with our environment, on our diet, nutrition, and just how we move on the earth. And that's regulated mostly by the spleen and the liver, by the middle part of the body. So what we were doing is helping to connect the pre-heaven chi and the post-heaven chi by using this point here. The other point we used, and I'm going to just try to do this here, is on the top of the foot. So the inside of the foot is along the spleen, just petting along here. And then the top of the foot, I don't know if you can see this, between the first and second toe, just moving up from the paw toward the ankle, you will get the liver and the spleen on your animal. So the top of the paw, pericardium 6, and the diaphragm point. This helped to calm and to connect the area. Now, the intergenerational trauma that we see in humans, where you get the heredity of generations before that will impact your being, your attitude, your way of life, is also present in our animals. You know that because those of you who have dealt with rescued animals, you know how the animals carry over some emotions that you have no idea where it came from. It didn't come from you or their present circumstances, but it was something in the past. The blood carries the memories, the kidney carries the DNA, and the kidney nourishes the blood of the liver. So we did acupressure to help calm. That was not enough. I got a call from my client again. This was not helpful yet. So what we did was we went to the next stage. We used melatonin. Now, melatonin, as you know, is a hormone that helps to regulate circadian rhythm. Melatonin is safe for dogs, not for cats at this point. So this is for dogs. And the dosage is between 1 and 3 milligrams, usually. The dosage will start at 1 milligram per 20 pounds. So if you have a dog who needs calming and smaller than 20 pounds, you titrate down. The side effects of melatonin, if it's too much, is drowsiness, possible stomach aches, and possible confusion, but it doesn't last a long time. And melatonin will regulate or help regulate the circadian rhythm. It will decrease anxiety. So we used melatonin with this dog. Finally, 3 milligrams was way too much. It was very drowsy the next day. Titrated it down to 1 milligram, and that was extremely helpful, along with a flower essence. And the flower essence is aspen. It's a Bach flower remedy, flower essence, that's used to relieve vague fears and anxiety, apprehension of foreboding that something is going to happen. It's also useful if there are nightmares. And it's not the stress that you see with cherry plum or mimulus or rock rose where there's a specific instant. This is a vague, like, anxiety that goes on inside. And you can use the flower essence in a 1 ounce dropper bottle. Do anywhere between 5 and 7, maybe even 10 drops. That might be too much. So 5 to 7 drops in a 1 ounce bottle. Fill with water, shake it, and give droppers full during the day. And especially with animals who are having issues at night, to give in the evenings. The combination of the aspen, mimulus, and the acupressure, especially at the diaphragm point. And the diaphragm point, by the way, is called bladder 17. And it's also an influential blood point. So it will regulate between the chest and the abdomen, and also help to regulate and support the blood. So we will, in following episodes, talk more about the liver and all of its combinations with the different organ systems and how it relates to you and your animals during which conditions, and how to connect everything together. But in the meantime, I hope that the story of this dog has been helpful to you. Thanks so much. See you next time.